Have you ever felt entirely torn? On one hand, there's the safety of doing exactly what is expected of you. On the other, there's this quiet, nagging urge to simply step out the door and run away into the unknown. This tension drives a poem by Sarojini Naidu. Known as the Nightingale of India, she was a significant literary figure of the early 20th century. But she was also a fierce political activist who fought on the front lines for Indian independence. She knew what it cost to demand freedom. In her poem Village Song, Naidu explores these competing forces. She sets up a debate between a mother and a daughter, representing a clash between civilization's heavy expectations and nature's untamed freedom. The poem opens with an anxious plea. A mother is calling out to her daughter, desperately trying to convince her to stay home by offering up the best comforts their life has to offer. She tries to bribe the girl with tangible wealth. She points to the expensive jewels the daughter is ready to cast into the breeze, and reminds her of the golden grain she was fed. Then the mother brings out her strongest argument. She asks how the daughter could possibly grieve the lover who is currently riding forth to marry her. In this society, a good marriage is the ultimate expectation for a young woman. When you look closely at these offerings, they act like heavy, glittering chains. Tradition and material safety are being used as anchors, designed to keep the daughter firmly rooted in her prescribed societal role. But the daughter's attention is completely elsewhere. She is looking out toward the wild forest, willing to abandon domesticity for a breathless enchantment. Her response paints a picture of a totally different world. Instead of heavy gold, she focuses on the scent of blowing champa buds and the sight of glistening lotus lilies scattered across coil-haunted river aisles. Notice how Naidu uses alliteration, the repetition of consonant sounds at the beginning of closely placed words, to build a magical atmosphere. The repeating F sound in fairy folk creates a soft, whispering rhythm, mimicking the hypnotic call pulling the daughter away. She is captivated by a visceral sensory experience. The mother's world of structured wealth simply cannot compete with this natural enchantment. The mother tries for one last time. She escalates the debate by presenting the absolute best worldly joys she can imagine. She points to specific, tangible luxuries: silver and saffron bridal robes, currently glowing in the loom, and sweet bridal cakes warming on the hearth. Within their village, these items represent the absolute peak of material security and comfort. It's the promise of a safe, provided-for life. This forces an agonizing choice. Does the daughter stay in the guaranteed safety of the known, or surrender to the terrifying thrill of the unknown? The daughter has a realization. She sees that these domestic joys are inherently temporary. She argues that the bridal songs and cradle songs actually have cadences of sorrow. The laughter of the sun today inevitably turns into the wind of death tomorrow. In her logic, human joy is fundamentally fragile. Naidu introduces another literary device. Here we see consonants, the repetition of consonant sounds within words, used to describe the forest notes. The repeating S and T sounds in forest streams mimic the physical rustling of leaves and the continuous flow of a river. The mother is offering transient, temporary comfort. The daughter turns her back on that to seek out a spiritual beauty that feels eternal. The narrative tension finally breaks. The daughter makes her ultimate, unshakable decision, telling her mother simply, "Oh, mother mine, I cannot stay." The tone shifts entirely here. The conflicted anxiety of the debate drops away, replaced by a sense of peaceful, absolute determination. This story serves as a powerful metaphor for a woman claiming autonomy over her life path, mirroring Naidu's own history of political defiance. To achieve true personal freedom, one almost always has to abandon the comfortable, well-worn expectations of society. This 19th century dilemma hasn't gone anywhere. We face it constantly in our modern, pressure-filled world. So, what does freedom mean to you today? What represents your personal wild forest waiting just outside the door? The call of the fairy folk, that deep, quiet urge for self-discovery, is an eternal human experience. And once you hear it, it never truly goes away.